I'm Peter Fitzhardinge and I'm head of the marketing for NEOM Tourism. Actually live in NEOM, based in NEOM, which is beautiful. It's raw, it's authentic, it's majestic, and I really think it's one of the last places on earth that people have yet to discover, and I think that they will do everything they can in the coming years to become part of that vision, part of that world, and actually come and visit us and be inspired by it.
Peter, thanks for giving us time today at WTTC here in Riyadh. Love to kind of really just kind of expand more on kind of your kind of opening statement there. Tell us a little bit more about sort of not just what it's like to live in NEOM, but also kind of what we can expect to see from NEOM when we arrive there.
When you're coming. So NEOM is 26,500 square kilometres of some of the most pristine, beautiful, raw landscapes that you'll ever find on Earth. It's also very diverse. So we have high mountains that get snow every year, and that's leading to one of the developments called Fitzhardinge that we've already launched, where, yes, believe it, you'll be able to actually ski outdoors in Saudi Arabia in the coming years. We've also got high deserts and rich red mountain outcrops, rich red deserts, which almost look like a little bit like Mars. So if you've seen the Martian, the film, you could almost feel that this is where you're at. We've then got coastal plains, and we're actually rewilding and regrowing those coastal plains. We're starting to bring back the species that have been lost. So in the coming years, when you come to NEOM, you'll be able to go on safari, and you'll be able to see animals that once long left this Arabian Peninsula and will be back. And so we're bringing back gazelles, we're bringing back antelopes, and actually the big cats will at some point also make their way back to NEOM. And then you come to my favourite. So being Australian, we love the coast, we love the water, we love the ocean and the sands. So NEOM has 450 kilometres of coastline around the islands and around the coast. And it really is the most spectacular unseen corals that you could ever really hope to imagine. And it's very close. So they're almost 10 to 15 metres off the coast. You can dive, snorkel into this real wonderland of seas, rare and exotic sea life, and these corals that are the most magnificent and vibrant. So the land itself is worth coming on its own. But on top of this land, we're creating some of the most amazing and I think imaginative developments on Earth. So we've talked about Fitzhardinge, which will be this alpine resort with ski fields, an alpine lake where you'll be able to sail and kayak and ice skate at some point, which again is crazy. You've probably heard that it's the destination that has been chosen for the 2029 Asian Winter Games. So who would have thought 5-10 years ago that Saudi Arabia and the area of NEOM would have been chosen to host a Winter Games? So that's happening in 2029. And then also we've got the Line that you've probably also heard of, an amazing reimagination of the city. I've got the model here. You can't see it on camera, but they'll probably show different pieces. So it's very much, the idea is by 2045, 9 million people will inhabit the Line. And almost when you look at what the Line is, so when you look at traditional cities, of course, they've always sprawled out. So this is almost taking a city, a traditional city of 9 million, and turning it up and bringing it, and it will only have a fraction of the space required, because it's 500 metres high, 200 metres in width, and 170 kilometres in length, from the tops of the desert down to the coast. And there'll be a hyperloop underneath that will allow you to go from the top to the bottom in 20 minutes. So it's an incredible destination and city that will also be a destination that people will want to come to and to see, in the same way they love to go to the great cities of the world of Paris and London and New York. This will be right up there and will rival those. It's a far more modern city from that point. So they're all destinations that people want to come to.
Tell us about how people will be able to access the destination.
So we're building, we already have one international airport, which is down with NEOM near where I live. And we do have flights to Dubai at the moment, and we'll be announcing very shortly another destination, an iconic global destination where we'll be flying to from NEOM. So already we have international flights in and out, and obviously lots of domestic flights. We're also building an international airport which will be at the top of the line in the desert, and that will be welcoming visitors as well. The great thing about that airport is that you will come into the airport and you will already be on the line. So unlike a lot of cities when you fly in now, particularly the airports are away from the city, you've got to get off, you've got to get out, and then you've got to travel sometimes 2 hours to come from the airport to get into the city. You'll be able to fly into NEOM straight really into the area where the airport is, and you're already there in the line. Grab your bags. You know what? Your bags will probably be taken care of for you, and you're straight into the line, and you'll be able to then access the line from there. So that's how we'll be bringing people in. We'll also be bringing people in by sea. So we're looking at cruise strategies. We'll have yachting and super yachting coming in, and ferries as well. So there's quite a few ways you can come in through that.
And for people excited and curious about finding out more, what's the message? What's the message? How do they kind of engage? How do they find out more?
Well, honestly, I think the best way, if you go to neom.com, which is a very well constructed website, that will tell you all that's happening across the sectors and also with the developments. So even though we're talking about travel trade today and we're here at WTTC, NEOM is more than a destination. It's 16 sectors. So we have energy, we have water, we have media, tourism, of course, that sits there. And with these 16 sectors, mobility, etc., food, we're looking to actually be sustainable with food. So we're more than just the destination, and there's a lot of information that sits there from that. Because really, the other thing that sits with NEOM and very much with the kingdom as a whole is it's very much about being environmentally responsible, fully sustainable, renewables, and clean energy, which will run NEOM as well. So we've got some big projects on that, and we've got people behind it. Some of the best minds in the world are looking at how we'll achieve that, which we're already starting to do.
Peter, thank you very much for giving us a small taste of what's to come.
Just a small taste. So, all right, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.